views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey everyone, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and welcome to Open BXRX. We've got you covered like a blanket. We're going to continue to give it to you like we owe you something. In fact, coming up on today's show, we'll speak to the founder of an organization that is creating job opportunities for our youth in the field that is growing rapidly. Then we'll hear from representatives of an organization that is providing vital services within our community. After that, we'll find out about a notable car company and how it's supporting performing arts and music in our schools. Then Bobby C steps into the room with the latest in the world of sports. And then finally, we'll learn about an exciting art competition and how it's contributing to our city's protection. All of this and more is headed your way because we are now wide open. Here we go. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Bob Lee. I'm your host, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now check this out. Leading things off, our first guest is one of the co-founders and organizers of Meta Bronx. And he's here with us today to speak about how his organization got started and how it's impacting our youth in the field of technology. And he's going to speak about the Meta Bronx Diversity Demo Day also. So please welcome to the show, Miguel Sanchez. Miguel, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yes, always a pleasure. We heard so much about the wonderful things that you're doing in our community, helping others get what they need out of life, and that's always an important thing, especially in the field that I'm in. Tell us about yourself and how your passion got started in this field.
So I was born and raised in the Bronx on 167th Street in Shakespeare, pretty close to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
My life was changed when I got a computer at 10 years old, and I learned about innovation from very early age. I was coding, gaming, designing, animating, and it really changed my life. So for my goal, as I got further and further into my career, it was like, how can I give more young people like me that similar opportunity?
Yeah.
So I founded Meta Bronx in about 2013, I forget what year.
Yeah.
But at first, I was mostly helping startup founders create their ideas. So technology startup founders end up having to raise venture capital. And right now, a lot of venture capital does not go to minorities, women, LGBT community members. So I figured, let me try to help that happen more often because I did understand it more than most.
Yeah.
At the same time, I worked with a co-founder of mine to bring young people and give them paid work experience in those same startups so young people can see people like them further along in the journey and learn as early as possible, because Mark Zuckerberg made Facebook when he was 17 years old.
Yeah,
so
right.
we want him to get it early,
Yeah. So, and then what was the thought behind Meta Bronx? How did you come up with the name, and how did you get this as the thing that you wanted to do?
The funny thing is the name, we never really made it an official organization until one day, the great Michael Blake actually set up an event in the courthouse where he brought CNBC and he was like, all right, I want you guys to present what you're doing. And we just had like 5 or 6 startups and a bunch of interns. And we were like, there's really no name to this. We're just
wait. My buddy helped you start this?
Well, Michael Blake was
Assemblyman Michael Blake?
Michael Blake was one of the major supporters of us early on. Yeah, he definitely put us on stage. Yeah. So he helped us, of course, Amanda Septimo as well, which you can see on Diversity Demo Day. But we were like, okay, we got to present this to the world. It's confusing to say we're working with these 6 organizations, these 100 kids. So we said, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to make a top level of the Bronx, the meta Bronx. So we said, we want to make sure the Bronx is looked at as the innovation hotspot that it is. We created hip hop, we created all these huge innovations in the world, but the Bronx never really benefited as much financially from those innovations. So how can we do that going forward? We want to make sure that the innovation is not only created here, is help funded here, so reap some of that funding reward, but then the youth are involved in it from day one, so they can go off and create their own.
Yeah. Any challenges in putting this all together?
Oh,
of course, there's challenges.
So one of the massive challenges in creating Meta Bronx is entrepreneurship education is not well funded by communities. A lot of job training, a lot of, skills that create full-time employees definitely get funding. But for entrepreneurship, it's really, really hard to get funding for this type of work. So we've had to pretty much figure out as entrepreneurs how to keep this going. And we've came up with many different routes. And now we're finally starting to get local support, financial support from startups, local people just donating to the nonprofit, schools, not public, private, charter schools are starting to donate. And we've so far through our startups, we've helped them raise over $8.5 million. So our startups are starting to grow as well, which startups take time, as most people know. So
Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, it's been very tough first few years, but at this point, we have worked with over 20 startups. We have raised over $8.5 million with those startups, and we've worked with over 1,000 young people. So we're really getting into our groove.
Bravo. Excellent.
Thank you.
So, but are you still reaching out for people to support what you're doing, right?
Of course. Right now we just finished our first diversity demo day where we publicly showed our startups to the world. And the entire show was produced by young people from the Bronx and Harlem and people around New York, young people around New York.
Yeah.
So that was the first public ceremony showing the world what we do. And now we're starting to see inbound support.
Is there another one coming up? Another demo day?
So this was the first one. We're probably going to do another one next year because we have to work with the startups for a while first.
So how did that look?
So we basically did a show similar to what you're doing right now. We basically on YouTube, on Facebook, we live streamed and we let our startups pitch investors and pitch the world. And then around those investor pitches, we had the young people of Meta Bronx tell their story of what Meta Bronx meant to them in their own words and through their own animations. So at Diversity Demo Day, you can see that presentation.
Is there one that stood out? I mean, while the youngsters were speaking of what Meta Bronx meant to them, what stood out? I mean, they probably are good, but
No, I get it. Yeah.
And melted somebody down and said, "Oh man, here I'm gonna hear. Let me open up."
There were 2 areas that really stood out to me seeing it. The amount that these young people understand about how the economic climate is leaving them out of the future. And we didn't write it at all. They wrote their script. We didn't even edit it. And it sounded like we wrote it because they knew that the future of the economy is currently leaving them out. That was one of the biggest things I noticed. The other big thing is the women, the young women, like talking to the people that were going to watch and letting them know you are underestimating us and we're going to show you you're wrong. And that it gives me goosebumps even now thinking about it.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Good. So where can we go to get more information, Miguel?
So definitely there's metabronx.com and then diversitydemoday.com, which is where you can see that event.
All right. Co-founder, Meta Bronx. Go to metabronx.com, right?
Yes.
All right, Miguel Sanchez, thank you so much, and thank you for all the things that you're doing for our youth.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for having me on the show.
You got it, and you're always welcome back. We'll take a hard break right here, and we'll come back and give you more. Coming up next.
When taking public transportation, don't touch your phone. Carry hand sanitizer and use it immediately upon leaving the bus or train. Avoid touching your face. If someone is coughing or sneezing, move away. Wash your hands with soap and water as soon as possible. Limit contact with poles. If possible, avoid rush hour. Don't eat or drink on public transportation. Keep your bag off the floor or other surfaces. Avoid directly touching turnstiles. Stay up to date with the latest from your local health department and CDC.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Doc Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, of course, BronxNet. We got another fantastic show lined up for you today. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Here we go. Our next guests are the Director and Government and Community Relations, Lead Organizer and Junior Intern for Banana Kelly Community Improvement Association. They're here today to speak about the services that their organization provides in our community and to highlight, they're going to highlight their upcoming back to school event. And you got to check it out. They really, really put it together. So please welcome to the show, Russell Cheek, Lisa Delancey, and Eugene Costoso. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hello, everyone.
How are you guys? You guys are all coordinated. You're in the same area, but you have your different workstations going on, huh?
Yeah, we wanted to spread it out a little bit out of respect for the social distancing, but ensure that we were all available to be able to speak clearly without being muffled. So, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this organization, Banana Kelly.
So Banana Kelly is a nonprofit organization that does affordable housing primarily here in the South Bronx area. We have like 66 buildings with over 2,500 units of affordable housing. We have various different exponents and programs therein, which is inclusive but not limited to. We have an organizing department, which Mr. Delancey will talk about. We have our after school program, our summer program, and then of course our primary portfolio. So it's like 5 different components to our organization.
And what community does this organization service?
So primarily we serve the South Bronx area, but we're also in coalition with what they call Joe NYC, which is a collaboration of affordable housing organizations throughout the city. So although our primary focus is here in the South Bronx, we also provide services throughout the city at large.
That's good. And you've been working in the community for some time, because I think we first met at the Elm Corps Youth and Adult Activities in Corona, Queens.
That is correct. That is correct. I am a resident originally from Corona, East Elmhurst. Again, Elm Corps, I used to attend Elm Corps and the youth back in the 80s. I've done a lot of work with them on community projects, along with the assembly member out there, Jeffron Aubrey, Lou Benson, and you have always been a supporter to all the events. I remember seeing you like, yo, WBLS is in the building. Dr. Bob is here. So yes, the work is very extensive, primarily in Corona, Queens.
I just have one thing against you over when you were working doing the Elm Court thing. Queensbridge and Elm Court used to have these.
Oh man, that's right. That's
I was
right.
fighting Queensbridge.
I remember back in the day, Jamala, Jack Chen, Marley Marlin, all of them used to come out. MC Shan used to come out. Me, Polo, Cool G Rap, and all of us. All those big events, waiting for y'all guys with y'all van to pull up so that we could get the show started. And I was one of the youngest on deck, but when the BLS van pulled up, we know it's getting ready to pop.
Yeah, I got Marley Marl started into the business with all the other rappers.
Yes, sir.
We used to play the music in the park. Eugene, do the youngsters in the community look up to you to guide them in the right direction?
I would hope so, because I feel like I'm a great influencer. I'm a positive and outgoing person. I like to kind of stand up for what's right. And I really want to see, the young generation, strive and really chase their ambitions and their goals in life. Because I feel like with everything that's been going on lately in society, we've had a major setback. And, everything with like school and, the restrictions and the things like that due to the pandemic and stuff.
Yeah.
It's held a lot of people back. And I know a lot of people, they've, at least from what I've heard, they've faced a lot of mental challenges throughout the pandemic. And I just want, I want them to have a positive outlet and somewhere where they can go and know that they can build their dreams without no one telling them that they can't.
And you're sitting in a unique position because you can talk to staff and you can talk to people in the community, and you can use their lingo. It's like the identification technique. So what's some of the lingo that they're using in the community right about now to help you get your message across? Like, yo, what's up? Da, da, da. You have to come down. You have to not, you have to identify.
I mean, I feel like it depends on where we are and how we go about conversing, or what starts the conversation more so.
Yeah.
And that would kind of give me more so a general gist of who they are as a person, and that would allow me to then in terms figure out how I should go about talking to them or speaking to them.
Because I try to use it too, because I've been working in the community for a long time. Some people use words like epic. Back in the day, they would use word, or fresh. So, there's different ways of reaching across. Lisa, tell us about some of the things that you do and how you're working it out.
Yes, Dr. Lee. So I think one of the words that I hear all the time is period. I don't like it. I can't stand that word, period. Period. Everything is period. But anywho, my role here at Banana Kelly is to build that bridge between the tenant and the landlord. Banana Kelly is the landlord. We are landlord to over 66 buildings here in the South Bronx. So, I'm that bridge, because a lot of the tenants they might have repair issues. They might have problems. Their rents might be in arrear. I play that role of going in, talking with the tenants, and coming to some type of solution where, things don't have to get out of hand. Another role I have is building a tenant association within our buildings, where the tenants can come and talk about whatever it is that they're going through, and we can come to some type of solution and getting resources. We also have a resident council, and these are leaders out of each of our buildings who come and they talk about, they govern and they make the decisions on how the tenants is going to handle whatever issue they may have. We also have a stabilized organizer, which the organizer goes to buildings that we do not own and have other landlords, slumlords, I should say, and we help them to build a tenant association as well and fight back, those landlords.
That's beautiful. Hey, Russell, I know you're working with Al Pizzero, of course, Banana Kelly Association, Hip Hop Boulevard, and United Coalition for Humanities. Got that big back to school event September the 4th. Tell us more about it.
Absolutely. So, I've had the privilege of working with Al Pizzero, Hip Hop Boulevard. And needless to say, Al is doing tremendous things. He's also the ambassador for Humanitarian Coalition, which was created by the renowned Curtis Blow. And so they have graced us to partner with us with this Banana Kelly Back to School giveaway, which we're going to be doing on Saturday, September 4th at 830 Fox Street. And it's going to be bananas because we got a lot of support.
Using your name, it's going to be bananas. Banana Kelly.
For Banana Kelly. Banana Kelly, we bananas. That's what we do. We not bananas out here. That's what we do. And, you know, we're just grateful that we got a lot of support. Al is a phenomenal guy. He brought a lot of resources to the table. We have New York City Department of Probation. We have the Dole Fund. It's like various different organizations and individuals who's going to be contributing to this event. And we're hoping to see you guys out there. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal. And again, we do this for the community. We do it yearly, where we just take opportunity to give back, you know, book bags, school supplies, and just to help the young people get ready to reacclimate for the school season.
Well, Al and I will be representing the United Coalition for sure in Hip Hop Boulevard. But you never know, you may get a surprise visit by the president and founder.
Listen, don't get me started, because see, now Doc, you know me. I've been chasing y'all around since I was 12. I'm chasing the BLS and all that. You know, I'm an old school hip hop fanatic. I mean, you guys have really set a path and established hip hop, the culture. And with you being on the air, and you know what I'm saying, I call y'all the OGs of the hip hop community, and to still be relevant and participating and helping us maintain the conduit and the bridge is just phenomenal. So we look forward to all surprises and all support we can get from the community.
There you go. Do you need any other support from the community or the elected officials or anything like that?
We are hoping that some of the elected officials will come out. I know that we have reached out to our borough president-elect, Vanessa Gibson, Assembly Member Chantel Jackson, Council Member Rafael Salamanca, and various other community members, Assembly Member Amanda Septimo. And we're just hoping that they'll come out and they'll show face, come say hi to the little people, and whatever they can do in support in terms of supplies or whatever, it's always greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I don't see any little people around. We're the little people.
The little people are the little guys. Listen, when we go out these doors, and this is what, and just to add this on, one of the reasons that we started our after school program and our summer program is because these little people, and I'm talking about the little people that go to school, we seen them outside and just like, you know, with no particular place to go. You know what I mean? And so what we wanted to do is give them a sanctuary, you know, some place where they could get some mentorship, some education, and be safe while their guardians are at work. And so we created the Banana Kelly Summer Program. We created the After School Program, and we've gotten a lot of support from the community to help us sustain and maintain these programs.
There you go. All right, where can we go for more information on what you're doing?
For more information, you could go to www.bananakelly.org. We have a flyer that we're circulating, and you can always just reach out to me directly, Russell Cheek at Banana Kelly or rtbkcianyc.org. Holla at me.
There you go. There you go. You said holla at me.
Holla at your boy.
Seems like you're ready to spit 16.
You know I got it, Doc. Now, Doc, when we start, you know I keep 16 on the rip. Today I'm doing some other stuff. I am no longer, I'm hip hop for life, but you never know what I might spit when y'all come through, just to show y'all some love.
There you go. All right, the big event, the big back to school event and the back to school giveaway, September the 4th, right? What's that location again?
830 Fox Street, and that's in the South Bronx, New York, 10459.
Al Pizzaro, Banana Kelly Association, Hip Hop Boulevard, and United Coalition for Humanities back to school event, September the 4th. Thank you, man. Nice seeing you guys. Thank you all for coming on, all right? And you're always welcome. All right, we'll take a break right here. I've got more open on the way. Coming up next. back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, of course, BronxNet. And our show continues with the best. Our next guests are the general manager for the Teddy Nissan. It's a fantastic company, wonderful organization. And we have a teacher, film and drama moderator at St. Barnabas High School. And they join us today to speak about a wonderful donation made by the car company to St. Barnabas's music program and to emphasize the importance of supporting the performing arts and music education. So please welcome to the show, Julio Baptista and Richard Vitaco. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
All right. So how did you guys marry? How did you guys come together with the notion that, I want to help an organization out in our community?
So, Teddy Nissan started a music program a couple of years ago to donate to the schools in our area. We found that they were lacking funding for music, and we figured that music would be, a good way for us to help the community, to bring people together. And this happened pre-COVID. We started donating to multiple schools, and then Richard found out about the program and actually reached out to us in March.
Richard, any of you guys play any instruments or anything like that into music?
Running a car dealership keeps me busy, and unfortunately no time, but I wish I had the time.
Yeah. Rich, you?
Unfortunately, no. Well, I used to play piano years ago, maybe in grammar school, had it for a few years and then stopped. So, life gives you changes. So,
I always wanted to play in a band. I used to help a drummer friend of mine out, go around, but I couldn't, I wanted to play the bass, but I couldn't hack it. So as you can see, I let them make it and I just play it.
You got a nice collection. You got a nice collection there, Bob. I like it.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is one of 3 that I have. I mean, you get so many records, but it's a wonderful thing that, a car company like Teddy Nissan is getting behind a school for their music education programs. I mean, it's phenomenal to be able to get that type of help, and people are looking for it. It's needed all over the city.
I agree with you. When we started this a couple of years ago, great idea. Gary obviously helped get the ball rolling on that.
Yeah.
And once we started going to different schools and obviously seeing the reaction that we had from students, which was amazing, really good stuff. And it's really brings us pleasure to be part of the community and be able to help at this level. We just wish that more companies and more businesses in the area, would do the same. And that kind of brings up the reality of investing in your community, buying in the businesses in your community. People really should understand that that's how the tax revenue works, right? If you want to better a certain community and the businesses are doing well and they're paying taxes and those taxes are being used to develop and improve the community, everyone gains, so we're really big on that.
Well, you guys can be a catalyst for the start of this, this whole program. I mean, people can join in on what you guys are. I understand that you have a program, Music Matters.
Yes.
Rick?
Well, here at St. Barnabas High School, I run the Film and Drama Club. So the Julio's donation was used, greatly, here in St. Barnabas High School. We don't have an official sort of curriculum-based music program, so the only way that students get any type of, musical enrichment is through the Film and Drama Club. So we put on 2 shows a year, Winterfest and a spring show. Winterfest is probably one of our biggest. It's in January. And students have the opportunity to sing, dance, there are different dance troupes, and students have some students who have really enormous voices and have the ability to dance and do it all basically, perform at Winterfest. And then we also have our spring show, which is normally a musical. So, it's a lot. It's very intensive. It starts in September and it ends when we have our last show in spring. So it really goes from, from the start of the year to the end of the year. So just a really good program.
Rich, how important is this money or this donation to the programs that you're doing at the school, St. Barnabas?
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's definitely going to add to the quality of our program. It's definitely going to add years on our program, quite honestly. So I'm really grateful for Julio recognizing that. It took some doing. So I touched base with him in March, and again, finally made contact, and we're just thankful that he saw the value of our program, and of course, again, like you said, that's what it's all about. It's about local. Everything's local. So
yeah.
Shop local, you buy local. You reap the benefits. You get the rewards. So
it's a beautiful circle of love, right?
Yes, definitely.
Hey, Julia, we thank you for all the wonderful things that you're doing in our community. Where can people go to get more information on what Teddy Nissan is doing in our community?
Our website is obviously has all of the information, and any news, we share on the website. So anything that we're doing, we try and, and share so that everyone sees. We work with a lot of community groups as well. And we do a couple of other things, for Christmas, we actually donated, to certain schools and certain programs as well to get people, what they needed for Christmas, to make a difference. So we're always involved. They're always doing stuff for the community. And, anyone that's looking to improve someone's, a program or a school that needs help, we're always here to listen,
We love you guys, man. Anybody that wants to buy a car, give it back to the community, because they keep that circle of love going around, and it comes right back to you, and you get by giving. It's just one of the paradoxes of love, one of the paradoxes of life too. You get,
I agree. We've been here since 2009, big part of the community, always have been involved in the community. And, it's nice to be in the Bronx. People have a world-class dealership to come and shop. We offer home deliveries. You don't even have to come to the dealership. You can now go online and just do everything online, and doorbell rings and Teddy Nissan's there with your car.
There you go. And you go to teddycars.com.
TeddyNissan.com, TeddyCars.com. We own two dealerships, Teddy Nissan and Teddy Volkswagen. So Teddy Cars will bring you to either or. And then you have TeddyNissan.com or TeddyVolkswagen.com.
And Richard, where do we go for St. Barnabas?
StBarnabasHigh.com. I think Teddy really embodies Teddy Nissan, and Julio really embodies the mission of St. Barnabas.
We love you guys. We love the marriage, and thanks for hooking up the community. All right. Julio Baptista and Richard Bataco, we appreciate you and we love you. And thanks for coming on BronxNet to sharing that wonderful story.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for the invite.
All right. You guys involved in sports?
I love sports. I love to watch sports. As far as involved, we actually, donate to a couple of teams in my neighborhood as well.
Well, stand by, because Bobby C is up next with the latest in the world of sports.
welcome in the hardest working man in the business, the multi-talented Ben Lyons joins us from the West Coast this morning. Ben, what's good, my man? Great to see you.
I appreciate the introduction. I'm glad to see the check cleared. Thanks for having me, dude. It's great to see you. You got a nice little hoops in the sun glow about you today.
I try, I'm dressed to impress for you. You're big time, so.
I dressed to impress. This is my Dwayne Wade World Tour t-shirt. Dwayne Wade, my favorite player not to play for the New York Knicks of the last generation. Kind of equate him to my dad's DiMaggio or Spike Lee's Jordan. There's that guy on the team that breaks your heart. And I just love D Wade. So you actually are dressed like D Wade is dressed right now in the south of France or Italy or wherever he is on a boat. But it's my D Wade t-shirt for you there.
And Wade might actually be even a little underrated when you talk about legends.
Yo, D Wade is fantastic. How great would it be to be D Wade post NBA career? Forget the actual hoops. We can break down X's and O's later, but to be on a yacht with Gabby and the team out in Capri, it sounds nice.
Sounds like a good deal. And Ben, in all seriousness, I thought I wore many hats in this business, but you really have cornered the market on the best of entertainment and sports. And I think you need an endorsement deal with Lids.
I don't know. I'm pushing the maximum on Lids. I go in there, I'm like, you got 7 5/8? And they're like, no, haven't seen that one in a while. I appreciate that, man. I am just trying to collect stories, honestly, real talk, that when I'm 90, hopefully I can look back and be like, that was kind of wild. I had a chance to do that. Or remember that time I taught Nicole Richie how to throw a curveball? Like, that was weird. So just trying to have funny stories. And I appreciate you saying that, man.
No, you're always definitely doing really cool stuff. And I think in the sports world, the latest has really been you hosting the Rich Eisen show. So some great stuff there. How has that been?
I was incredible. Honestly, I said it, I think, when I posted that I felt like I won some type of contest, but to be out there with the team for 4 weeks, do a bunch of shows. Rich is a Michigan guy like I am, and I'm a fan of his for a long time. Grew up watching him, of course, on SportsCenter, and couldn't have been nicer and more supportive, and called me up and was like, hey, go do your show. And when Carmelo Anthony went to the Lakers and I became a Laker fan that day live on the show, it was a magical moment for me. So it's super dope when the people that you're fans of in this business, you get a chance to cross paths with them and they're super cool. And it's a reminder that you can have great success without being a maniac. And I really enjoyed my time on it. So yeah, it was fun.
Does Rich have a love for the Wolverines too, or no?
Oh yeah, the whole studio is like a shrine to Harbaugh and Ann Arbor, and it's the scene in Knocked Up where Katherine Heigl, after the earthquake, realizes that the man she's about to have a baby with, Seth Rogen, has a sword and a giant bong and all these weird action figures in the crib, and she's like, this doesn't feel right. All that stuff is now in the Eisen Studios, so you see like a Bo Schembechler bust, or you see some Charles Woodson wine. It's like that's the challenge on the show, is when you're having a conversation like this, not to get like lost in, oh, that's Rich's hat from when he was the captain of the Michigan football team, or, it's like a museum in there.
Well, I mean, definitely cool for you guys to connect there. And I think when we start talking about your career, especially in sports, not just entertainment, but really things have run the gamut for you. It's gone from everything from football to golf to basketball. And I believe I know what maybe that main passion is, but I wanted to ask you this morning, what's that number one love for you in terms of sports?
Despite trading a first-round draft pick and Steve Novak for Andrea Bargnani, despite drafting Gerard Mustaf, despite never having re-signed a draft pick since Charlie Ward, my love for the New York Knicks remains my North Star. I don't know what's wrong with me. I believe it's the gift and the curse that my father passed on for me for being New York's longest suffering Red Sox fan, who now has the audacity to say things after they beat the Dodgers. Oh, we should have swept. And my father's a fanatical Red Sox fan, introduced me to sports and provided me with so many of my foundational sports philosophies and memories that I really admired that devotion he had to the Sox, and I saw firsthand when it paid off. And so I believe at one time in my lifetime, I just want one. That's all I need. I'm not LeBron at the press conference 4, 5, 6 champion. I just need one, and it'll be a glorious day. So I have faith. It keeps me going. The Knicks are still my number one passion.
And that's definitely a great segue here in terms of questions, because I know fans have probably seen you in one place or another, but maybe they did not know about your famous dad. What's it like to be the son of a legend in Jeffrey Lyons?
I appreciate it. He'll love hearing that. You just made his day. That's very sweet. I got a chance firsthand to, learn from the best in the business. When I would see my dad, who was a film critic for many years at Channel 11 here in New York and at NBC, and covered Broadway as well. I got to see the grind. I got to see the research. I got to see the process of, consuming art and sharing your thoughts and opinions on it in a respectful way, an articulate way, a way that supported art that sometimes wouldn't get in the conversation. So he's my hero, my best friend. Like, I love him. And it was amazing to see firsthand, to be able to watch a movie with him and say, hey, let's go talk to Jamie Foxx the next day, or Robin Williams, or all these legends. Mentioned Redford. Dad had known him for years, and to go to junkets or interviews when they'd come to NBC firsthand, I was like a sponge. And not just to be focused on him, but just the process of making television. As you know, Chris is on the line here. It's a collaborative effort. There's people, there's the lighting, there's the cameras, there's the crew, there's the control room. It's such a thing, the team sport of making television. And I saw that from my dad as well, not only the beat that he covered, in film and Hollywood and stuff, but just, I'm very fortunate to have been a real fan with real access over the years. He's the smartest, most interesting Dos Equis man I've ever known. So it's cool to call him my dad.
I can't believe Robert Redford is 85. I still think The Natural might be the best baseball movie of all time, maybe even better.
Although when he hits it inside the park home run, I believe he shakes the third base coach's hand, which I sound like my father now, pointing out that error in like an otherwise perfect movie. But Redford, I believe, played high school baseball with Don Drysdale as well. And, as founder of the Sundance Film Festival, which holds very special place in my heart. It's an event I've covered 15 plus years now, and talking about that championing of art, seeing stuff early and getting on your soapbox and sharing it. And I'd be remiss without, you asked me a very kind question about my dad, but I feel a very close connection to my grandfather on that side of the family, a guy named Leonard Lyons, who was a columnist for 40 plus years on the beat here in New York for the New York Post, 6 days a week, had a column, The Lion's Den. Never had the privilege of knowing him, but I feel like I do through his 12,000 columns. So when I look at culture today, look at sports, look at politics, look at art, I look at it through the lens of, who would have been in my grandfather's column, or how would my dad have reacted to this movie? So I'm very fortunate to have that lineage.
I know, Ben, you don't really like all the love that I give you with this stuff, but I mean, you really have put together an amazing, impressive resume, and only 39 years old. And I don't know if this is true, but the Wikipedia page says that you're actually a Hall of Famer. You've been inducted into the Southern California Sports Hall of Fame.
I think my dad might be in charge of the Wikipedia. I think that's maybe where that comes from. I don't know. I am in awe of what you do at Hoops in the Sun, man. Honestly, when I see you out there calling these games live, having to react to what's happening. It's hot. There's a crowd. It's loud. People's egos. Like, it's a lot, and it's intense. And to see someone so comfortable in that environment is something I try and take to my hustle and my game a little bit as I go about my business. So it was fun to see you in action as well.
And I tried my best, like yourself, to kind of, mix and match and do different things. And that's something that's been, part of my life for a long time. So definitely something I've tried to do here and there. And again, talking about your career, I think back, and I remember the launch of the Players Tribune, and I think that's among your many credits in sports. Is there one achievement to date that you feel you are most proud of in the sports world?
It's a collaboration. And while I love my time with the Players Tribune, it was a collaboration with Rock the Vote this past general election. We launched a campaign called Hooper's Vote. That's going to live on as an NFT series. But the point of the campaign was to really galvanize and engage the basketball community at large to get involved with voting. I've worked with Rock the Vote now, I guess maybe 10 years or so, and have always enjoyed their perspective on how to engage young people and really mobilize them. And we partner with the WNBPA, led by Terry Jackson, who's an incredible voice in the game of basketball, Jaren Jackson's mom, but more importantly, she's the executive director of the WNBA PA, and they're just awesome. And we did this campaign, Hooper's Vote, that really just, through the graphics of Elliot Girard and Heartland Entertainment, just popped and got a lot of love and got people who might have felt on the sidelines, even as we approached, November in 2020, to really get in the mix and have their voices heard. So that is something I'm very proud of, is that connection between sports and culture and getting young people to be engaged in their communities. As a Knick fan, when they're down 20, 30 games under 500 and they're telling you to vote for Landry Fields for All-Star, you're like, can we vote for the game of life, please? So that was something I'm probably the most proud of in all the funny adventures I've had over the years.
That was part one of our interview with Renaissance man Ben Lyons. Tune in next Monday for part two.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Our next guests are the Assistant Director of Intergovernmental and Community Affairs and the HNTB LERO, Eastside Coastal Resiliency Community Engagement Manager. How's that? Just keep it going like that. They're here to speak about an art competition and its impact on city construction project. So please welcome to the show, Ophelia Rivas and Desiree Gazzo. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bob. Hi.
Thank you for having us on the show, Dr. Lee. We're happy to be here.
Tell us about what you guys are doing. I mean, it's a wonderful organization. Tell us how you came together and how it all came about.
So Desiree and I, we currently work on the Eastside Coastal Resiliency Project, which is an important project aimed at reducing flood risk due to, as you know, the incoming coastal storms and sea level rise. And this particularly is a project for Manhattan's east side from East 25th Street to Montgomery Street.
Wow.
This is the first coastal resiliency project for the city. There are more to follow, so other boroughs will be protected as well. It's important for all boroughs to have flood protection. And pretty much the project was designed to integrate flood protection into the community's fabric and improve waterfront open spaces and access.
Wow,
Yeah.
I remember the big hurricane, all the tunnels were flooded all the way downtown. And we never, in my lifetime, I've never seen that before. And did the project start after that or?
So after a lot of folks were impacted by Sandy, as you know, yes. And after that, we saw that the city saw that it was a real sense of urgency, a real need, especially with climate change, how things are changing, sea level is rising, that we really need to focus on this to help protect our precious residents of New York City.
Now, is this going on all over the country? Because, you know, climate change is a big thing and some people believe it and some people say, it's a fluke. But climate change is really creating havoc all over the country, all over the world, really.
Yeah, and that's why it's really important for New York to embrace it as well. And that's why we're here, and that's why we're hoping that Call for Art will really help to educate people about climate change and resiliency and how we could work together as a community, to educate each other and learn about the importance of this and all the different things that are going on in the city to try and combat this. So we're really excited about, bringing the community together for this Call for Art.
And this is called the East Side Coastal Resiliency Project, the project downtown?
Yes. Mhm.
Is there any other waterfront that you're working on?
So particularly for this project alone, it's just in Manhattan, on the east side of Manhattan. But there are DDC, the agency itself, it definitely is working on other coastal resiliency projects, such as the Red Hook Coastal Resiliency Project in Red Hook, Brooklyn. So yeah, there's plenty, and there will be more coming down the pipeline. So yes, absolutely.
But the call to art project is open to anyone, or is it strictly in New York City or New York City residents, or?
Yes, the Call for Art program is open to New York City residents, and we have kind of different categories. So it's K through 12, and there's different themes for students, and then for local artists as well. And a local artist can be anyone. You don't have to be an artist. You can just have an interest in the project and want to submit your art.
Okay, what are the rules? I have my, let me see, I'm going to start working on some sort of art now.
Good. We look forward to receiving it.
What are the rules? What do I have to do?
The only rules are really, there are certain themes. So there are themes like share something special about your neighborhood or community. Resilience means the ability to bounce back from environmental threats like hurricanes. Why do we need resiliency in New York City? So you can find all the information on the ESCR website, and there's a special call for art page there. So the website is www.nyc.gov/ESCR/art. And you can find all the details on the page.
Ophelia, how is this being supported? You have any sponsors? Do you want to reach out to any right now? I'll give you the open camera and open mic. You can.
So we don't have any sponsors per se. The project is funded through the city and the federal government. So through the project budget, we were this is part of the community engagement portion of it. So we're allocating the funds from there. So there's no need for sponsorship. However, we are working with community-based organizations and the local community boards on the facilitation and selection of the artwork. So we thought it was really important to include the local community to be a part of the process, to help oversee it. And also, since it's their community and in their area, something they'll be seeing every day, they get to feel like they're part of the process, they were part of the selection, and they're making an impact. So we're really excited to bring them into the fold.
Great. Desiree, will there be an award ceremony for first place, second place, or are you working it like that? How's it working?
There'll be about 40 local artists selected. So we're looking to really open it up to the community and really showcase quite a few student artists and local artists. And then all of the student artists that submit art, they will receive a certificate. And then there are awards that will be monetary awards that the selected artists will receive as well. As far as the ceremony is concerned, we are throwing around a few different options because we do want to celebrate the selected artists. But with COVID, we are kind of uncertain about what the actual ceremony will look like when the time comes.
All right, so where do we go from here? What do you want our people to know other than what we spoke about?
Yeah, so I think we just didn't mention that this is a call for art for the temporary construction fencing that will be, all over around the construction site. So we just, we really want to reach a wide variety of people in the city to submit their artwork. Ophelia, do you have more to say?
A few important things. So we, like Desiree said, we really want a wide range of folks. So please encourage your neighbors, friends, family to participate. Students, local artists, young adults, seniors. We really want everyone to submit their artwork. And again, the deadline is September 30th. So if you have plenty of time to get something together, please visit the website. There's 2 ways to submit your artwork. They can submit it online or in person. Online submittals, again, they can visit our ESCR website at nyc.gov/ESCR/art. And for in-person submissions, individuals should download the submission form and bring their artwork to the drop boxes at the select Manhattan public libraries, which are Seward Park Library, located at 192 East Broadway, and Tompkins Square Library, which is at 331 East 10th Street. And again, if there's like additional questions about the project or the contest, we're available online at nyc.gov/ESCR/art or nyc.gov/ESCR. And we're really excited to be holding this community contest and giving back to local artists in the local community, and giving all residents of New York City an opportunity to promote their artwork.
Well, thank you for all the work that you guys are doing in our community.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having us, Dr. Lee.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you for getting the word out on this great contest, and we appreciate your time.
Sure. And afterwards, can you come back and just show us all of the what took place and everything that took place after the competition?
Oh, absolutely. And we can invite you to come on down to the project site if you want to get some shots. And we really want to showcase this.
You got it. We appreciate you guys. Ophelia Rivas, Assistant Director, Intergovernmental and Community Affairs, and Desiree Gazzo, HNTB Lero, East Side Coastal Resiliency Community Engagement Manager. We appreciate you. That's about it for this particular show. We appreciate you and thank you. We can't thank you enough. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice, let your choice control the chooser. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. Once again, thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. Have a great and enjoyable day. We love you all. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Peace.